President Ghani, thank you very much for speaking to the BBC at an important moment, the beginning of your presidency. A lot of nice words yesterday at the London conference. Was there a tougher message behind the scenes?
No.
What was the message?
The message is one of trust. We've owned our problems. The paper that we circulated yesterday, I think, is unprecedented in its degree of honesty. I don't think you get a president of a country who writes the program and acknowledges all that is problematic, yet simultaneously offers an analysis of opportunities and a program of action to utilize the opportunities and to overcome the past. Because of it, there's alignment between what is said publicly and what is said privately.
Overcoming the past, the biggest issue must be security. The UN says that this could be the deadliest year since 2001. Afghans are dying every day.
Yes, we're dying senselessly. And what is characteristic of conflicts that if had long periods of gestation and continuity is that when the light at the end of the tunnel becomes clear, actually it accelerates violence. And the very fact that our children, our women, our civilians are being targeted is both indication of the depth of the fall and the sense of hopelessness. People who think that they will exercise power do not kill children on a volleyball field.
But you know that if there is not security, you cannot achieve any of the goals you've set for your country.
Yes, we can.
If aid agencies, it's now even the most dangerous country in the world for aid agencies.
We don't need aid agencies to transform ourselves.
Well, you need your own development workers, you need government officials.
We do. But
you need the governors who have been targeted.
We do, but every single one. You know, my life has been threatened repeatedly.
But if Afghans are too scared to go and work in the provinces, if aid workers are afraid to go.
Mr. Said, all of those are realities. But do not underestimate our determination to overcome the vicious circle and to create a virtuous circle. Afghans are not going to leave Afghanistan. We've been there, we will be there. And the will to change is not confined to me. I'm an elected president, outcome of an intensely debated discussion where we have opted for a future different than the past.
Well, you said yesterday to the international community that you hope that Afghanistan will never have to ask again for direct combat support. But you've already asked for it. Barack Obama has authorized that some 10,000 troops can engage next year in missions against the Taliban.
It's not said that. What is said
He's authorized the combat order. It's been...
There's a counter-terror mission that's very much part of the agreement with the Afghan government. We had lost about 8 months. We're making up for them. But the security transition will be completed on 31st of December.
But you've authorized night raids?
We've not authorized night raids, those misreports. They're total misreports. Show me a single signature. What I've said is that all these options should be studied and presented to me so I can make a decision. Misreporting has been very common. No night raid has been carried or authorized.
But if there continues to be suicide bombings, even in the heart of Kabul on an almost daily basis, and if military bases are being overrun by the Taliban, will you have to go back to the international...
Could you please control your language? Military bases are not overrun by the Taliban. They had penetrated the perimeters. Pakistan's GHQ was penetrated. Much stronger army. The Indian parameters in Taj were parameters. These incidents happen. But to use language like overrun with your experience of Afghanistan surprises me. So I would hope that
Well,
there would be less of an
let us say
exaggeration
yes,
and more of an accurate description.
ferocious.
There's
right,
a ferocious attack,
ferocious
and the
attack.
ferociousness of the attack is undeniable. But no base has been overrun, no base has fallen, and nowhere have our soldiers left their parameters and surrendered.
During your election campaign, and I can't misquote you here because I was with you when you said it, you said you would like to engage in talks with the Taliban.
Absolutely.
But is there any prospect? They seem to want
There
to
are
fight, not talk.
No, there are prospects. Let's not conduct peace through public diplomacy and through media diplomacy. Peace is our national priority. Like everything else we do, we prepare for it intensely. We take account of the national, the regional, the global environment, so that there is alignment. And we, from day one that I've come to office, I've focused on this, but it needs to be very deliberate because missteps will be costly. There's a political dimension to this conflict that can only end politically. Use of force, as I indicated in my speech in Kathmandu for SARC, is limited. Every problem is not a nail to be hit with the hammer of force. We must have a broader approach, and that's what we're focusing on.
What you need most of all is a government. It's been months, and members of both your team and Dr. Abdullah's team tell me it's really hard. We still don't agree.
No, we agree. We've agreed on the fundamental. The cabinet will be all fresh faces. That is a fundamental breakthrough.
But a lot of the old faces are demanding, and I don't need to tell you this, they're demanding positions.
Well, that's their problem, not mine.
Well, it will be your problem.
It will be my problem if
It is your problem.
if I accede to it.
But these are the realities of Afghanistan.
They are
sir.
the realities of Afghanistan, and I'm managing them. I don't think that the people of Afghanistan are unhappy with the way I'm managing it, but there's a balance. There's a balance between giving empowerment to the generation, to the young generation, and taking account of entrenched interests. And I'm after transformation. I'm not after accommodation with entrenched interests. We're not attacking anybody. We are not depriving anyone of the opportunity to work in the economy legally or to form political parties or others. But the government belongs to the people, not to an entrenched elite.
Do you sometimes feel Ashraf Ghani is ahead of his people? The kind of reforms, the way you talk about women's rights, you're almost talking about a different country.
No, Ashraf Ghani represents the central consensus of his people. 38% of our women voted. Of the voters were women. They came out. Women who had not come out of their homes for decades came out to vote. I need to honor them. And I'm doing it within the norms of our culture. Look, the wife of the Prophet, peace be upon him, was a merchant, the largest, the wealthiest merchant in Arabia of her time. Second wife, Aisha, is the embodiment of the transmission of Hadith. We have a tradition. We've had very, very strong women. All I want to do is to give the opportunity to Afghan women that my grandmother had. What's wrong with it? I'm not ahead of my time. The times went back, and now we want to connect to the club where women like my grandmother can re-emerge.
President Ghani, thank you very much.
Thank you.